No, I'm not going in French.
Bonjour tout le monde, on
I
est de
don't. I don't want to
retour.
lose my job.
On est de retour avec le troisième round du repêchage de la Ligue de hockey simulée. HFFO and Ace are both gone, so there's only French people in here. So now we're doing it in French.
Yeah, 100%. Totally not. No. First things first. To start off the third round, we do have a trade to announce.
Nous avons un échange à
Hamilton.
annoncer.
Yeah. Hamilton will be receiving Manhattan's third round pick for 41st overall, and giving away their season 75 second round pick to the Manhattan Rage.
Yeah, so I mean, it's the first round, the first pick of the round, so first third, trading that for a second, so that's a good value for Manhattan, if especially if Hamilton gets a mid pick in the second round next season. If they don't need that third right now, it's a good move to make here. So Hamilton will be on the clock. So let me just get all that ready here. Hamilton, we said. It's their first pick, Hamilton, in this draft, so they trade not only trade into this third round, but trading into this draft to add a user to their locker room that I think they know very well. So the pick is in.
And with the 41st pick, the Hamilton Steelhawks will be selecting Erno Junis from the Vancouver Whalers. Unfortunately, don't have much to say about the player myself. HFFO had most of our notes on all that. Jert, if there's anything that you can add in.
I mean, I think we should turn to Shawnee to talk about a Vancouver player.
You're kind of ignoring me.
That's true. Yeah, sorry.
I'm just doing sheet stuff. Randall has been great with us so far. He's been earning well. He has talked about getting the war room. He's now in it. I know his main goal is to win a 4-star and a WGC gold, and we'll try our best to give him that the 4-star cup. I'm not the person that takes care of Finland or in the WGC, but yeah, I hope he's gonna win with us, because that means we get a cup.
So selfish.
Unfortunately, QCC is going for a three-peat here, so that's probably not going to happen. But who knows?
I've never heard something so false in my life. A Quebec team winning?
Yeah, we've done it twice, and we'll do it 3 times more in the next 3 years. This won't age poorly. But with that, Toronto is on the clock. And I do believe they have already made their selection with the 42nd pick. Toronto is going to be taking, if the graphic is ready.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're going to be picking Bog Damsel from the St. Louis Scarecrows. The player that has officially declared war on the entire SMJHL and the entire SHL. They will fight you. They are coming for you. Bog Damsel is ready to beat people up. A solid pick for Toronto for some more added rough grit and some solid defense. Definitely a serviceable pick, and we'll see if it pays out.
And I think that's the first scarecrow of this draft.
Is it really?
Wait, why is there a well the render is off the page, but it has a elk logo, but it says scarecrows. So I think we did something wrong here.
I do know that Bog Damsel is
Yeah,
officially a
yeah,
scarecrow.
it's
Yeah, that
obviously a
is
scarecrow, but graphics team here got the logo wrong, and I'm offended.
a little loopsy.
How dare you confuse my former team with? Well, I played on that team too, but with the scarecrows. Ew. All right. Where's my? Next up is Seattle.
And with the 43rd overall pick, Seattle is going to be taking Newton Lizard Campbell, coming from the Yukon Malamutes, which means HFFO won't be here to praise another of his fellow members, as he's off currently getting some food. But yeah, I mean, do any of you have anything to say about this player? I know that he's been active on the Season 74 server here and there. Unfortunately, haven't really had the opportunity to speak with them, so I don't know much about them myself.
I do not either. I will say that $60,000 in the bank is a bit on the lower side. Obviously, there's plenty of options to remedy that for Cambridge.
Get that up, yeah, yeah, of course. I mean, if the rookie tasks haven't gone in yet, then perhaps they can get a lot of money that way. Otherwise, media is always an option. There is 2 times media week this week for the SHL draft, and next week it is going to be for the SMJHL draft. So a nice way to get some bank if anyone is struggling.
And next up, we will have the Dragons with yet another pick in this draft. That's 5 picks now, 6. So good class here for the Dragons.
Yeah, lots of picks here for the Calgary Dragons, and with the 44th overall, Calgary is going to be selecting Walter Mellon, a fantastic name. We've had a lot of fantastic names in this draft, and I mean Walter is one of them. Another left winger joining the ranks of Sonia Solberg for the Calgary Dragons. So really going in for a deep offensive core here, and we'll see if Walter pans out for Calgary. Happy to have you, Walter. Hope we'll be good teammates for a long time.
And we are going to go next with Toronto.
That's not the right player.
That is true, and it's also not the right team. I skipped ahead.
Yeah, you moved one ahead.
Yep. So let's fix that and then announce that Toronto pick and not the Barracuda pick. So Toronto is picking this guy here. Bring you on the stream, guy. And so yeah, Toronto is ready to pick now.
And with the 40, we're at 45 now?
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
Yes, with the 45th pick, Toronto is going to be selecting Dwayne Swanson from the Maine Timber. Very respectable TPE and bank on Dwayne. Was very active early in the season. I do believe his activity has lowered since then. But perhaps they will come back and go in with a very they'll come back and be very active for Toronto. Potentially be a really good pick for them as well.
Yeah, we're getting into that territory in the 3rd round where it's not straight up inactives, but sometimes it's people that are on the verge of. You try to get them back once they get drafted, but we are getting into the later parts of the draft where everything is a bigger gamble, and that, well, when those pay off, it's great, and when they don't, it's not as bad as when your first rounder goes at MIA. So, and we're gonna start seeing team passing soon too. So things are gonna get moving, and we're
Yeah.
keeping them moving with the Barracuda next.
Yeah, and so with the 46th overall, the Tampa Bay Barracuda are going to be selecting someone who I think is probably going to be pretty average. It is Average Dude. Um,
Average pick for an average dude.
yeah, exactly. An average pick for an average dude. You know, being third round, definitely not bad. And so with that, Tampa Bay is going to be getting another player here for their roster that is up and coming. Hopefully, we'll be able to help them out for a decent while. And with that, Toronto is once again on the clock.
Yep, and they have probably one of the highest TP remaining players. Let me check a look at that. Where's the TP? Well, aside from someone who's a GM and one goalie, yep, they are going with the highest TP available. Tied actually for ISTP among skaters. But there's still some value here.
Yeah, and they will be going for the player by the name of Stormlord Imhotech, coming in now at pick number 47 with the user Joe Steele. Has been a pretty active member in the rookie Discord server. Seeing quite a few things from them. Hopefully, they will be a good pick for Toronto, and will be able to remain active for a long while. And with that, we are at pick 48 for the Los Angeles Panthers.
Yes.
So we got the graphic up
Should be, yeah.
for pick 48. And so LA is going to be taking the player Napoleon Dinklage from the user Christopoulos. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. A pick from the Colorado Raptors. A near 300 TPE player. Solid pick for LA. Unfortunately, don't have much to say about them. They've been active for the mock here and there. Active a lot earlier during the season. I haven't heard from them in a while, but hopefully they're still around and kicking, and will be hopefully a great pick for LA for a long while.
Yeah. HFFO really hitting us with the gonna go get some milk move here.
Yeah. Putting the newbie in their first draft. Well, I mean, I guess technically second on stream, but first SHL draft. Uh, and saying, "Yep, you're the lead now." Well, doing my best. Do what we
Yeah,
can.
we're gonna keep moving with the Monarchs with back-to-back
Yeah.
picks.
So the Monarchs have pick 49 and pick 50. And with pick 49, the Minnesota Monarchs will be taking a player with the same name and username, Poiklum. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but they are being selected by Minnesota from Great Falls. Sorry about that.
I'm not even sure there's a right way to pronounce it, so. Poiklum.
I mean, I'm sure they would be able to tell me eventually. If I get a nice DM from them telling me how to pronounce it, I will make that correction eventually. But yeah. So that is the first pick from Minnesota. And Minnesota coming in with halfway into the third round here with pick number 50. And Minnesota has selected Jimothy Penjaman, Penjaman, or the user Thor, coming in from the St. Louis Scarecrows. It was claimed on waivers. Has a really solid bank, 273 TPE. To be honest, I think this is a fantastic pick, extremely late in the draft. Once again, another defenseman by the Monarchs, collecting them like Infinity Stones. And, who knows?
Thor has been a back. His previous player was a backup goalie, mostly backup. I think at the peak started for a while in Seattle, but Thor has had a very good goalie that played for a lot of teams. Very good backup. Thinking of a like Peter Budaj kind of guy. So yeah, and next up, we have a trade to announce.
Yeah, and with that, the Toronto North Stars and the Atlanta Inferno will be having a trade here. Toronto will obtain the Season 75 and Season 77 Atlanta third round picks, whereas Atlanta will be obtaining the 51st overall pick. And that means that they are going to be put on the clock now.
Yes, on the clock, Atlanta. Sorry, I just had Ace confirm that. Unfortunately, he will not be back on stream with us. So hoping everything is okay.
Yeah, I hope everything's good on his end.
And having kids, man, you never know what can.
Yeah, you never know what can happen with kids.
But whatever happens is often more important than the SHL Draft stream, so we fully understand. And I'll talk to you soon, Ace.
Best of luck.
So we are saying that Atlanta is on the clock with this trade, getting 2/3 in exchange of this 1/3 that they have traded. And with it, they are drafting a goalie.
Yeah, and so with the 51st overall, the Atlanta Inferno is going to be drafting goalie Tanner Pitts from the Colorado Raptors. Has been a decently strong goalie for Colorado this past season, despite Colorado not having the greatest season themselves. Has been a pretty active rookie from what I've heard. And Not very active on the Season 74 server. The bank account is a little bit worrisome, but definitely something that can be fixed very easily.
Yeah, that's a low. Well, it's a negative bank, so it's really. But you know, with a goalie this late in the draft, if you just get a body to make to have your mandated backup starts, and you have a body to put in the net, that's not a 155 inactive. Uh, can can do the job
It can help out, yeah.
which helps gives you some flexibility here. So definitely not a bad pick for obviously probably not the best pick in the draft at this point, but not a bad pick for
Definitely, yeah.
Atlanta. And then we have Buffalo.
Yeah. And so the Buffalo Stampede, with the 52nd overall pick, are going to take from the Anchorage Armada, Lucky Blackwood, or Lukey Blackwood. I believe it's Lucky Blackwood. 329 TPE left winger, as I said, from Anchorage, who had a decently solid season with 25 goals, 27 assists. A great pick for Buffalo to try and keep that whole pipeline from Anchorage to Buffalo going. And yeah, just another solid pick. And with that, we have Chicago Syndicate on the block, who are also going to be drafting a goaltender this time around. As with the 53rd overall pick, we have Just Perfection, a player who was claimed off of waivers by Nevada. Joined in really late in the season, but despite that, has been trying to hopefully become the very best goalie that they can be. And so potentially a good late round gem. Who knows? We'll see how they pan out.
And we have
And
our first passes of the draft.
yeah, so officially, if you guys put in your mock that the Atlantic Division was going to be the first team to pass, the first division to pass, then you would be correct, as Manhattan will be the first pass of the draft. And following that, Hamilton also declares that they are passing for the draft. Which brings us officially to Montreal here for the next pick at 56. Yes, at 56. And with that, the Montreal Patriots will be drafting Nick Kodiak, the user PSU with Boogaloo. Drafted third overall from the Colorado Raptors, so a massive drop for Nick Kodiak here. I mean, it seems that they've gone IA. Only at 280 TPE, but with a massive amount of bank. It seems as if they were a user that just went in and potentially burned out. Hopefully we can see them come back and start earning very, very well again. But only time will tell. We'll see if they can come back. And with that, the 57th overall pick is going to be made by the New Orleans Spectres, and they are going to be picking up the player Benny Hanna from the Anchorage Armada here. 316 TPE, 2.7 million in the bank. Had a solid season with Anchorage. Very good rookies. A solid pick for the Spectres. Hopefully, that means that they can get a player who sticks around for a very long time as well. As we move on to the 59th overall pick, as the New England Wolfpack has decided to pass for the rest of this draft. And so there will not be a 58th. And so with the 59th overall pick, the Philadelphia Forge will be picking up the player Fedorov. Selected 20th overall by the Anchorage Armada initially. Has no money in the bank, 257 TP. A player that is going to be serviceable, but potentially needs to get a little bit more money in the bank to officially make a full-on comeback here. And with that, Edmonton is going to pass, which means that we are going to be at the end of the third round here.
Which we've known from the very start of the draft that they would be passing, and yet they are not the first official team to pass. I think that's very funny, but it is what it is. You get there at the end of the. Oh crap! Is the thing not updating? Yeah, that's better. Okay. Yeah, the board was not updating, but we are here at the end of the third round indeed. And I think we're gonna keep moving, unless you want to take.
Oh, we're gonna keep going on.
Do you
I mean, it's completely up to the GMs here. If they need
that
us
far
to.
ahead. Okay,
Yeah, they're not that far off. Yeah, so
let's take 5, and we will be back in a short time to start round 4 with
all right.
a pass, and then an actual pick. And we're back, heading into this fourth round,
Fourth round pick.
and starting with a pass that is Manhattan, so we will be having a pick from Montreal.
And with that, the Montreal Patriots will be picking the player Savage Cabbage from the Newfoundland Berserkers with a nice Patrick Kane render. The user Icy Dice, 261 TP, 2.5 million in the bank.
Oh crap, I think Shawnee is not back.
What?
Shawnee, are
No,
you here?
Shawnee's there?
Yeah,
Okay.
my tablet has been messing around.
Okay. No worries. I had heard you and I thought that I jumped the gun here, but we're good. So Savage Cabbage.
Yeah, Savage Cabbage at pick 62. And with that, at 63, Seattle is going to be passing for the rest of the draft, which means we are back to Calgary. And with that, the Calgary Dragons will be selecting the player Austin Dodd from the Great Fall Grizzlies, 71st overall there. So moved up a couple spots this time. 3.8 million in the bank. 233 TPE. Another forward for the Calgary Dragons core. If all three left wingers pan out, Calgary will have essentially their three left wingers for the future. But only time will tell, and we'll see where things go from there. And with that, at pick number 65, we have the Toronto North Stars going and picking a goaltender by the name of Yves Dodard. So Yves
Eve.
Dodar in Smelly Eve by the user Funk. Solid high TPE goaltender. Pretty solid bank. Was 29th overall in the J Draft for Great Falls. And we'll see if the odor can help keep pucks out of the net for Toronto here.
Sounds like the name of a Nickelodeon show.
Oh, HFFO's back. Welcome back.
Yeah, my food took longer than expected.
Yeah, it's all good.
I thought the delivery guy kidnapped you.
Yeah, we were worried about that, yeah.
She did not kidnap me. She just she told me that come down and get the food, so I went down, and then she said so we had a little adventure.
Good
The
for
funniest thing is that you cut off for the
Yeah.
entirety of it.
What?
you. Yeah.
You
You
literally
said,
cut off.
yeah,
She
you
told
cut
me
off
to go
after.
down, and then she.
And then you
Yeah,
had
she
an
went somewhere else
adventure.
after she told me we were to meet her. We had an adventure though.
I see. So you went somewhere else. I see.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
went to Narnia. It was fun.
Well, Tampa Bay is on the clock now with pick number 66. Drafting goalies back-to-back now as they are going to be taking the player Mio Van Brook, something like that. If they can help with the pronunciation.
I'm pretty sure an actual goalie in the NHL had that name.
I see.
Yeah, Florida had a goalie, Van Beesbrook. Took him to the
I
finals.
see.
New York as well. No?
By the user Dupe, who has 326 TPE and a solid bank account, especially this late in the draft, of 19 million. a waiver claim by Anchorage. I think this is a solid pickup for potential really powerful goaltender. Time will tell. And with that, pick number 67 is going to be a pass. San Francisco is going to pass here as we move on to pick number 68, where the New Orleans Spectres will be picking up Icy Richardson. The user Icy breaks the SHL. 249 TPE, $150,000 in the bank account. Was claimed on waivers by Maine. So another player here picked up for the Spectres that'll hopefully serve them for a long time. Following that, we have the Minnesota Monarchs officially going for a pick at number 69. And they are going to be selecting the user Dynamic MLB 42 with the player name of Brandon Strongstick, who was claimed on waivers by Great Falls Grizzlies. $2.9 million in the bank, 216 TPE, and finally a forward for the Monarchs. I think this is their second or potentially third. However, not a defenseman this time. A waiver claim that unfortunately I don't know much about. Hopefully they're active and can serve Minnesota well. And with that, is this Texas's first pick in the draft?
I think didn't they have one before that?
I'd have to look over real quick, but I am unsure if they've had.
No, I think you're right.
Yeah.
It is indeed Texas's first pick in this draft. So really waiting to get their guy.
Well, hopefully this player is going to serve them well. They are going to be drafting with the 70th overall the player by the name of Pierre Mailloux, user by the name of Wind Savan, selected 60th overall by the Newfoundland Berserkers. They have 278 TPE, 1,150,000 in the bank, and they are a center. With 9 goals, 25 assists.
I'm not saying it lightly, but this guy
is?
Yeah, his Discord file, if you click on it, it says currently playing video.com.
You keep cutting out each other.
I don't know why. Click on his Discord profile, it says currently playing video.com.
Something at video.com.
Oh, whatever.
It keeps on cutting out. Sorry.
Is that better?
Well, you didn't cut off at that moment, but
okay.
We'll see.
His Discord profile says currently playing xvideo.com.
Huh.
Oh. Okay.
He's also just like a really weird dude.
Well, if you are from Quebec and you know who Pierre Mailloux is, it checks out.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Pierre Mailloux is
but
very
with that
controversial guy, to say the least.
But with that, officially we have the Baltimore Platoon on the clock and have already made their pick. At pick number 71, the Platoon will be taking some future considerations. I don't know what they traded away, but we know that they're getting some future considerations. The username Zetterberg at 266 TPE. Without a very good bank account, however. Probably going to have to get that back up
that's
if
probably
they are
gonna
not
jump.
IA.
That's gonna jump because they've made some renders for the draft. So when the payout, well, including this one, obviously, Zetterberg did his own.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the bank probably gonna get a good jump here, and was still active.
Yeah, a good jump that'll help out.
Could not make renders at the last minute here, but was still in the events department explaining why. So not a bad pick, I think, for Baltimore here. Could be a depth player in the future. Could be a very solid addition to that team, actually.
All right.
I even DM'd my own GM to say that, hey, if this guy's still here, and then Trips just came in and sniped us.
Well, with that, we have a couple passes. As officially, Buffalo is going to be passing now, as well as Chicago, LA, and Hamilton, which means we are officially now at pick number 76, with the Atlanta Inferno, who is going to be selecting right defenseman Pablo Ice Cream Bar, with a user of the same name, 195 TPE, 5.4 million in the bank, selected 46th by Kelowna. A user who seemed extremely active early on, but seemed to vanish.
Long shot.
They haven't been very active recently, but who knows? Maybe they can come back. As you say, it's a long shot.
And Pablo was one of our colleagues from the French crew. Maybe they're banking on the Mikul connection. I don't know if they actually knew each other before, or if they're just hoping that maybe this is going to be the one thing that can help.
Brings them back. Yeah.
So Mikul try to, and Gordo obviously also is one that could do that, but you never know. And next we have
a couple more passes. 77, 78, 79, 80, and 81 are all passes going into the 5th round. So we've got passes from Winnipeg, New England, Philadelphia, from I can't see the acronym right now.
Doesn't matter. Lots of passes.
Yeah, lots of passes.
Now we're at what pick is this?
Pick number 82 from the Montreal Patriots.
82. We're getting to the end.
Yeah, and so officially headed into the 5th round. However, we are going to be continuing as there are not too many picks left. And so with pick number 82, the Montreal Patriots will be selecting goaltender Yulu Kusi, who was selected by Vancouver. Shawnee, do you have any comments about this player?
Not really. They're our current backup. They pop in the locker room once or twice per week just to check on everything, and yeah, that's not a waste of a pick.
Yeah, no, definitely an option that can be very serviceable for Montreal here. Probably not going to be a franchise starter like Brick Wall, but definitely a solid pickup that could potentially turn out to be fantastic. Who knows? Following that, at pick number 86, as 83, 84, and 85 are all going to be passes. The Tampa Bay Barracuda are going to be selecting the player Masataka Ninomiya. The username The Wozy. 232 TPE, 15.6 million in the bank. Selected by Regina in the J. Yeah.
We haven't seen Rosie a lot lately, but he's a long-time user, so probably Tampa Bay here is hoping that he's coming back at some point and keeping that player alive and not immediately recreating after an activity, as some people prefer to do when they come back after a period of inactivity. But probably here, that's what the Barracuda is hoping, that Wozy might come back and start being active again for that player with them.
Alrighty. And so with that, pick number 87 is going to be passed. However, with pick 88, New Orleans Spectres are going to be picking up a right winger by the name of Fredbread. User Pure Fredbread, a Yukon Malamute player. HFFO, if you have any comments about your fellow Malamute. Currently, I do believe your mic is not being picked up.
Or maybe he just has a mouthful.
He did unmute. That's why I was wondering.
Hello.
Oh, there we go.
Fredbread said the SHL isn't for him, so he's probably a 2K player.
Understandable. That is absolutely fantastic. 2K player being selected right here. Going to be a late round gem. And so with that, picks 89 to 105 have been passed, which means I do believe that the last remaining team is Tampa Bay. The only team that is making picks left, I do believe. Let's see.
Well, yeah, I think that's right.
If DK makes one more pick, I think we just fire him.
Yep, officially 19 teams have passed, which means DK is making all the picks now. And so, yeah, slowly but surely.
I'm gonna...
Alright, let's just put all of these into the board as he's going.
Yeah, so let's throw them all in. So first of all, at 106, he's going to pick himself! Sean Pon! Gonna be technically a late round gem, considering that he is a GM here. Another QCC member. 376 TPE, 48 mil in the bank. It's going to be definitely a good roster player for Tampa Bay eventually. Following that, at pick 126, the Tampa Bay Barracuda are going to be taking the player Tony Blundetto by the user Furio. I don't know if we have a graphic for that, or if we have no more graphics at this point.
Dwight can just keep picking, and we will write the names, and that's it. I'm not doing that.
And so yeah, at pick 126, we have Tony Blundetto by the user of Furio. At pick 146, Tampa Bay is going to be selecting Demetrius Jamel Morant Wick by the user Skriz. At 166, the Tampa Bay Barracuda is going to be taking the player Dontavius Sturdy by the user Dontavius.
This was the guy who got suspended for having a bunch of multis and then unbanned after he got banned because he only made one multi. But It turns out the multis that he made, like he just had like 5 other that got rejected because they knew they were multis. So really he made a bunch of multis but got away with it.
So you're telling me we can play him?
I don't think they're going to be coming back.
Nope. Well, maybe they do. They probably just have a different account already.
Probably, yeah. Hopefully we'll see them in season 75. No. And with that, the next player on the list for Tampa Bay at pick 186 is going to be David Grimes, a player that apparently fought me once this season. I lost. With the user DePsychic is going to be picked up for Tampa Bay here.
I guess he fought you because he knew he was going to win.
Yeah, potentially. Who knows? And following that, we have pick number 206, which Tampa Bay is going to be taking the player Exotic Dummy Bobby, which is going to be the user Bobby Bob. Yeah, 206.
Well, reaching 200 picks was certainly dummy, but we got there.
And with that, that is the final pick of the draft.
Thank God.
All right, this was a good 2 hours 45, including 2 half of streams because it cut in 2, and because GMs take their sweet time.
At no point in these late Tampa Bay draft picks was there anything that was a tangible draft prospect. Nothing of value. I think we're all a little sadder for having experienced this today, and may God have mercy on our souls.
So that being said, thank you everyone for tuning in, and we will see you next weekend for the SMJHL draft. At least some of us will. And if you're interested in working with the events department, if you want to make those render, you can contact Bailey. If you want to be on streams or do like Shawnee and manage the back-end sheet when Shawnee can't, like next week when he's going to be drafting.
Yeah.
Then
I'll be working and drafting.
Just hit me up. I am Jerk or Lepoil on Discord. Just ask your GM and they'll know who to refer you to. And yeah, we are always looking for more people. We also have the awards and all-star games coming up, so if you want to host some of that, that would be interesting. So there we are. End of the draft. Thank you everyone for being here, and we will see you next time. Have a great day.